What's up, guys? I'm Laura from Reading in Bed, and today I have got a library haul. So I put a whole bunch of books on hold during the Christmas holidays because I was feeling a little deprived after rereading for so long. And I expected them to come in before New Year's Eve, so I'd have some stuff to start the year with, but they took a while. They didn't come in till about a week after, and they all came in at once. And I'm like, oh my god, now I have too many. Doesn't that always happen? So, some of these are for my Complete Works project where I'm reading debut novels and deciding who I want to then read all of their works in chronological order. Some of them are just random. So let's get started. The first of these is The Intuitionist by Colson Whitehead. So this is a debut, and I forgot to put him on my short list, but he was on there. He was supposed to be on there because the Underground Railroad is way, way, way too hyped for me. There's no way it could possibly meet the expectations it has in my head after everyone's raved about it all year long. But I listened to an interview with him on CBC, I think. I'll link down below, and thought, oh, I really want to read his stuff. I just don't want to start with the Underground Railroad. Yeah, I just can't deal with that. So I decided to start with this book, which is about elevators or something. It sounds totally weird, but it's supposed to be really good. So I'm going to start here with Colson Whitehead and maybe continue on from there. The next book is also a Complete Works kind of a book. This is Wind/Pinball, 2 novels by Haruki Murakami. And the first novel, the name is actually here, The Wind Sing. I don't know why it's shortened here. It's the first in the trilogy of The Rat, which I don't know anything about. And I've been told, and I have read, and read articles and whatnot about how you should not start here with Murakami. Don't start here. Everyone has different recommendations for where to start, but it's never here. But that's the Complete Works thing, so that's what I'm going to try to do. We'll see what happens. The next one is Grief is the Thing with Feathers by Max Porter. This is a debut, but it's also this guy's only novel because it's pretty recent. This is more of a FOMO thing where I felt like I was missing out on something. It's also very short, and a lot of the pages don't really have a lot of text on them, so this will be a quick read. So I'll get to it eventually, but I've got another book in this stack that I don't think is going to pair too well with this, so maybe I'll just get to that right now. That is So Long, See You Tomorrow by William Maxwell. So I'm reading this because of Backlisted podcast. Their recommendations are, I trust them completely. And if that wasn't enough, we've got the Michael Ondaatje blurb here. This is one of the great books of our age. It is the subtlest of miniatures that contains our deepest sorrows and truths and love, all caught in a clear, simple style in perfect brushstrokes. Okay, now I've read about 50 pages of this. It's very short, and I just can't read a lot of it at a time because it is so sad. I wept through the first couple of chapters, and I've kind of got myself together now, but it's still I can really only read about 10 pages at a time because it's just very affecting and potent in that way. So I don't know if I can read these two close together because I won't be able to leave the house because my eyes will be all swollen and stuff. So I'll get through this first, and then I might need to take a break is what I'm saying. Next I've got The Comedy of Rage, Jonathan Franzen by Philip Weinstein. So this is a critical biography. I'm reading it for Franzen in February, which is coming up real soon, and I don't really have much planned, so I don't know, might be a bust this year, but I'm gonna try to read this, and it just, I don't know, this is a book about Jonathan Franzen by a white academic guy that's blurbed by 3 white academic type guys, and it's oh my god, is this gonna be the worst? Probably. And we've got the illustration that's reminiscent of his Time cover back from 2010. The inside flap here says, Jonathan Franzen, The Comedy of Rage, is the first critical biography of one of today's most important novelists. Can we just, let's calm down. I love Franzen, but honestly, I'm kind of reading this for the snark potential, to be honest. Next, I've got Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. So she's coming to Edmonton in March. This book is the MacEwan University Book of the Year. Typically, when you get tickets to that event where she will speak and do a Q&A and stuff, you get a copy of the book. So that's why I got this from the library for now and didn't buy it, because I'll probably end up getting a copy. I'm looking forward to this. I've resisted this because of the hype, but I think it's been long enough now. So And A Mixed Blood Highway by Joseph Boyden. This is the text from his 2008 Canadian Literature Centre lecture that he gave. If you follow CanLit at all, you know why I'm interested in this, and there is just like an absolutely cringeworthy description of Boyden and Margaret Atwood canoeing and sleeping in a teepee and stuff that, like, oh my god. Enough said. And finally, I have A Brief History of Seven Killings by Marlon James. And Marlon James I sort of had in mind for doing a complete works thing, but he's only written 3 books, and the first one is very difficult to find, which I find with like more recent authors, that can be a thing. If their first novel wasn't a huge success, or if it was with a small publisher, they could be really difficult to get a hold of. So I just went for A Brief History of Seven Killings. I threw my hat into the wait list, and it came through a lot faster than I thought. So I guess people have moved on to other Man Booker winners by this time, I guess. But Marlon James, I follow him on Facebook, and he's like one of the only celebrities or authors that I follow there. He's very funny there, though. He does talk a lot about political stuff. He lives in the States. How can you not? But he also talks about music and pop culture, and he's just hilarious. So, you know, if following authors on Facebook is your thing, I'll link that down below. This is a big book, though, so we'll see. I probably can't renew it because there were at least some holds on it. Whether or not I'll read it in the next 2 weeks remains to be seen. So that is it for my library holds. Yeah, a little overwhelmed. We'll see how it all goes. Thanks for watching.